1931 in Germany, they made the guillotine illegal. They got rid of the guillotine as a punishment when you got the guillotine. Because it was too French, and they replaced it with the battle axe. Oh, no. So that's true.
Irrelevant.
A battle axe. I mean, if it came to a guillotine or a battle axe, I mean, the battle axe seems pretty dope.
It's more badass.
That was actually one of the reasons that helped get the big man with the H got elected, because the prime minister in 1931 was brought on to, like, keep the dude with the H letter from getting more powerful.
Can he not say that?
But instead of, I don't know.
It's dicey.
Yeah, it's dicey. I mean, even if I'm not even saying, but they hired the prime minister then to get rid of him, but instead of, like, politically working to stop him from getting more power, his first order of business was to outlaw the guillotine.
Oh, jeez.
Because it was deemed too French, and it needed to be replaced with the German short battle axe.
Oh, no.
And when I learned that fact, I said, wow, that's incredibly middle Europe.
Oh, my gosh.
It's always so interesting to...
Which is one of my favorite Europes. The closer you get to the water in Europe, the more I hate them. France, way too close to the water. Way too...
They're literally a peninsula.
Yeah, but, you know, the good sturdy people in the middle, and then in the R country, which... Those are my people.
The R country?
Well, I feel like, well, and it's so interesting just to look at, like, cultures in general, because, like, all the people that are along, like, coasts and everything, they had access, like, especially in times where, you know, the economy was bad or anything like that. Well, like, you know, they had access to, like, fishing and things like that. Whereas, like, when you get more towards the middle of Europe, it's like, if you didn't have farming, like, you're screwed when it came to food.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't
Hardy,
have...
violent people.
Yeah, and so, you know, you wind up with communities that are like, all right, well, this is all we have to work with, so, like, we got to make it work. And then, you know, the countries that are along the coast, you know, they could at least most of the time with, like, food shortages, they're like, well, we at least have fishing, you know?
Yeah,
so,
and just perfumes and stuff. But
oh, right. Well, I mean...
just give me a solid, like, 5'1", really hairy white guy. Just in a field in middle Europe,
Anyways.
hasn't drank water in hasn't had a sip of actual water in 15 years.
Well, it's so interesting to think, like, especially back in, like, the Middle Ages and everything, people really didn't do anything except drink alcohol the vast majority of the time, because alcohol was the only thing that was basically safe to drink.
That's what I tell people now.
You're like, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm just really safe with, like, what I drink.
I just don't trust Kingwood's tap water. It's not. I have to drink all the time.
It's like, I mean, what else can you do? You know, with the water, it might be contaminated, so I guess I just have to drink beer.
No, it is. That's why. Yeah, they were savages. I'm ready to go back to that time.
It was like
personally, I'm done with this.
Wine and mead, though, right? Because it was like fermented.
No, it was pretty strong.
No,
well, yeah, I was going to say, and of course the distilling process for all these various types of alcohols were always different. And especially like in Europe, if you were in an area that supported things like vineyards, then you had access to wine. Whereas, you know, basically if you only had access to grains, your options were like mead and, you know, like the real early forms of like ale, beer, and things like that. And what was really cool, because like my dad's a huge history buff, so we'd always go to Europe and we'd visit like monasteries and castles and things like that. And one of the really cool kind of like little historical facts about a lot of the monasteries is especially in Germany, Europe, everything like that, that's where the beer was brewed, was at the monasteries. The monks were the ones that brewed the beer.
I believe it.
Yeah.
That's why they don't talk. Yeah. They don't want to tell their secrets.
They're like, we don't talk because you can't have a recipe.
They kept the best of themselves. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
So I'm ready to go back to that time. Very much so.
I mean, I would rather not have to like go to the bathroom in the street or like dump it out my window.
Sounds like a good plan.
I don't want to go sit in a hole in the dirt. Yeah, I'm good.
Sounds like a good
basic hygienic things like a shower and a sink and a toilet.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with that.
I'm good with those.
I'll keep that. Can I like pick and choose?
Exactly. It's like, can we like
Yeah.
When people at my shows, they come up to me and they're like, "Oh, you're playing too loud." I'm like, if it was 200 years ago, I'd ride in your town on a horse and just take everything you have.
You'd be like that traveling bard that would just come in, let me sing you a song of my journeys, and they're like, shut up!
Yeah,
Throwing tomatoes at him.
That's what,
I always think of him as just like the court jester.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying. I'm ready for shit hit the fan.
you're
and
the bastard.
Yeah, and it goes back to tribalness,
Yeah.
kings and queens. And I'll be oh my lord.
You're like, I'll be the funny guy.
My lord.
My lord, what would you like me to do today?
Until one day I like pick on his feet or something and he chops my head off.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then he's like, you're not funny. To the battle axe station. Like,
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, your feet smell today, my lord. And then it'd be like, off with your head. And then
Neil
like,
said, still true. Ask the folks in East Palestine. I don't know when he sent that, but I don't know what we were talking about.
in Iraq,
I don't know.
No, East Palestine, like Ohio.
Ohio, Iraq, same thing. No, I'm just kidding. I have an East Palestine T-shirt, and all the profits are donated. It's me.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's me in a cloud with my guitar, and
Yeah.
there's a train, and I'm shooting a laser beam at it to stop it. Pretty sick.
Yeah, stop this.
Yeah, absolutely.
train.
Well, and
And it says people over profits.
right. Well, and I'll only mention this briefly, but I mean, I find it so sad that we keep having like water source issues. I mean, like, years ago there was the Flint water crisis. They tried to.
They still don't have water.
Yeah, they still do not really have safe water.
You know what?
And-
You know what CNN showed for 3 hours straight yesterday? A picture of Trump's plane on the tarmac.
Yeah. And I'm like, aw, that's really unfortunate. And then, you have these people who are basically stuck in Ohio. Like they don't have the funds to they don't have the funds to just get up and leave. I mean, that's their home. And then they have a situation where they're like, well, we're being told it's safe, but literally I put creamer in my coffee and it bubbled.
Yeah.
Has never done that before. And I'm like, and it's just, stinks because it's like, well, our water sources are so important for the longevity of our communities, farming, everything like that. And it's really unfortunate. And,
water.
it's really sad. But
You know what?
too many crises like that.
Yeah.
Way too many.
When people say that, what you exactly just said, and they bring it up to politicians in Washington, they think, where? They go, where is Ohio? And then they get a tweet, and then that's it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think actually, and some of them would actually prefer that they're like, well, this is just expediting the process of them just not existing.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely a group that are very just more interested in well, if it doesn't affect me, then it's not really important to me.
Yeah.
And it's really unfortunate that that's the views of some people. And,
It's
hopefully.
a group of 400. It's a group, called Congress, Senate, and then the White House. Yeah, three groups.
Like
It's actually
I said,
three
it's,
groups.
it's unfortunately it's in overall, it's in local governments, it's and it's
Well, I think really
unfortunate.
Man, that black dude that yells, he's my favorite politician.